about Stephen A. Smith, right? This week, well, actually a couple of days ago, KD and Stephen A. Smith have been beefing. They actually been beefing on and off for years. You know what I'm saying? They've been throwing little shots at each other. Mama KD got involved. You know, KD is I don't even want to call him aloof and use all those adjectives, but you know, he can be standoffish. You know what I mean? He don't. You know, you shoot at a tweet. The average Joe shoots at a tweet. You probably can expect the tweet coming back from KD. You know, he don't play that burner account, non-burner account, whatever. But anyway, last month during a segment on First Take, Stephen A. Smith basically called out KD for his lack of leadership. I'm gonna play the clip real quick, and then I'm gonna go back into it a little bit more. I'm gonna talk about what KD is doing, but this is what started the beef off. Check this out.
I don't give a damn what it is. Kevin Durant's going to show up, and he's going to ball out. But does he get the others around him to do it? Not only does he not do it, he doesn't feel the level of responsibility I think he should feel in getting it out of them. It's like I did my job. I can't help it if somebody else isn't doing their job. Well, to some degree you can. When you're that great and you warrant that much respect and that much deference and reverence, you should be able to be a better leader than he has shown. And
belief you have in the Suns with Kevin.
So look, he basically called out him as a leader. And, you know, Stephen A. We're gonna get deep into the weeds with him and all his, you know, the beef he has with players, Kaepernick, Kyrie, KD. You know, KD sat with that for a second, a couple of weeks, and decided to drop a little diss track on him yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Via a quote, and the quote reads as such: "Yeah, Stephen A. I don't understand how people even listen to Stephen A." He told The Athletic. "I've been in the league for 18 years. Never seen Stephen A. at a practice, a film session, a shoot around. I've never seen him anywhere but on TV talking shit about players. He's a clown to me. Always been a clown, and y'all can write that too." Okay, so that's, you know, that's talking a lot of big shit. I'm gonna play Stephen A.'s response to that quote, and I'm gonna let you do your thing, and then I'll come back. Check this out. Hold on.
I got bad news for Kevin Durant. If you're expecting me to reciprocate with that kind of pettiness and childishness, it's not going to happen. Kevin Durant is one of the greatest players to have ever played this game. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's a two-time champion, a two-time league MVP, finals MVP. And I've been on the record saying he's also a good dude. So if he wants to resort to that level, even though we're both grown men, and if he had something to say, he knows my number, and he refrains from doing so, that's what he has to live with. But having said all of that, respectfully, Kevin Durant, could you stop lying, please? I've been an NBA reporter, and I was a columnist for the Philadelphia Inquirer as well. Kevin Durant has seen me in the locker room when he was at Oklahoma City. He has seen me in the locker room when he was at Golden State. He has certainly seen me at games throughout his career. But unfortunately for him, I don't have to be at shoot-around. And I don't have to be in the post-game locker room. I happen to have a hit show that's been #1 for 12 years. I have other things to do with my time. I go to games all the time. I'm not a beat writer anymore. So let's get that out the way. The other thing that I would say is this, respectfully. Kevin Durant is going to have to answer this question. Who's allowed to talk about him? Charles Barkley played this game as a Hall of Famer. He got a Charles Barkley. Shannon Sharp is a Super Bowl champion, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, and a Hall of Famer. He got a Shannon. He's gotten at players, the C.J. McCollums of the world, the Dennis Schroeders of the world, and others. He's gotten at fans. And, oh, by the way, did it discreetly because he had, accounts that didn't reveal who he was. Okay.
KD got your boy stuttering, man. Q, you know, me and you, we've done segments on this where we go in on Stephen A, man. You know, I think anyone who watches the show knows how we feel about Stephen A. Jay, what do you make of this whole shit right here, man?
This shit's ridiculous. This shit is absolutely fucking ridiculous, right? If you think about it, you know, like I'll start with Kevin Durant, right? Kevin Durant is, I'm going to use this word again. I used it to describe Aaron Rodgers a couple of weeks back. He's mercurial. He's a very kind of like, like you said, aloof is a great way to put it. I don't know if I would use aloof, probably, maybe, I think he's like mercurial, right? He really cares about maybe 2 or 3 things, right, in life, right? Mama Durant, hooping, his money, maybe video games, and his bread. I mean, and I think he burns, some lie as well, right? So when you look at it through that lens, you know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't have the reverence or all the extra shit. He's not with it. He's just not. So you take a shot at him for his leadership. He's been pretty forthright with saying he doesn't even really want to be a leader. He's like, I lead on the court. I go on the court. I'm Kevin Durant. I'm Kevin Durant, right? Like, and in reality is he's exactly that. Some people don't have that that gene where they want to be vocal, right? Some people some people just don't have it, right? There are people who have it. There's the Michael Jeffrey Jordans, there's the Kobe Bryants of the world, right? And then you'll have the players that lead a little more silently, but they still, have a good level of control of their locker room and respect from their peers, like the Kevin Durant. And I don't know, maybe you could put Steph Curry in that line of work too, because he's not very vocal either, at least not from what we see, right? He's not that type of player. But with that being said, Stephen A. Smith and him have been doing this for too long. This dance is taking entirely too long to come to a conclusion, right? Put the gloves on and go into a ring at this point. Word. If you guys don't like one another, that's fine. Now, I will push back a little bit on KD because KD has been involved with a couple of shows. And Stephen A. brought this up. I watched a little bit of material on it earlier today where he's been invited to be part of various shows. The I think it's called The Kid from Coney Island, if I remember correctly, the name.
The Stephon shit, yeah.
The Stephon Marbury one, the Point Guard one. Also, both of those were executive produced by KD, and they did reach out to Stephen A. Smith to be a part of that. So if he's that much of a clown or that much of a, all these different things that he said in that tweet, then why is he signing off on allowing him to be part of those projects? The reason being is because Stephen A. Smith is part of that culture. He's a big part of that sport culture. He's got a lot to offer. He's been in a lot of locker rooms. He's been in a lot of arenas. He's had a lot of conversations. He absolutely has the phone number for the majority of the star athletes and the people that make the sport world go. He's a big cog in that machine. So that's why he was invited. And if he's a clown, then at that point, don't use the guy for those projects. If he's a clown, don't bring him to the boardroom and have an interview with him. These are all the things that kind of make KD look a little, off kilter, right? So with that being said, I think that this dance just needs to end at some point. Guys, we both get it. Neither one, they're having this incredible pissing contest pause and it's playing out publicly. Stop. Both of you guys are giving a lot to the culture, a lot to sporting world. Both of you guys are significant greats in your own right. Just respect one another's, opinions about one another and move on. You don't have to speak about one another. And Kevin Durant, don't be so sensitive when people are speaking about you, because guess what? The world is speaking about you, and they're going to continue to speak about you. It's not just Stephen A. You know how many goddamn tweets he's going to have to put out if he plans on taking a shot at everybody who thinks that he's not a good leader? I'll tell you what, we may not be on his radar, right? So he may not take one at us, but I'll say it. He's not a great leader when it comes to vocal, but everywhere else, he's an absolute star and he's a stud. But so end the dance, guys. The shit's over. We're tired of it.
Bars.